So this was such a big deal for Chanel that she created a manifesto. She says, I chose the diamond because its density represents the greatest value for the smallest size. And I use my penchant for all that shines to try and reconcile elegance and fashion in a set of jewelry. It was in the Great Depression, right after the stock market crash. I'm so excited today to share with you Jewelry by Chanel by Patrick Mauriés. This is an incredible monograph that talks about the history of Chanel fine jewelry from its inception to the modern day. And it really starts out with this exhibit. In 1932, the London Diamond Corporation asked Chanel to create an exhibit, a collection of jewelry that was primarily using diamonds. And this was the inception point for Chanel fine jewelry. And Patrick Mauriés has done an amazing job compiling the historical artifacts and some amazing photos of that exhibit. And I think that that is really kind of what shines in this book. And you see what an incredible exhibit this was. This is Coco Chanel in her home. This was revolutionary to have a show that was inviting people into her home. She was already considered one of the great tastemakers of history. The head of her incredible fashion line that had changed and created the modern woman. But there's a couple of things here that you can see right away. One is here Chanel. I think that this is the Duke Fulco de Verdura, who was designing jewelry with Chanel at the time and would end up founding his eponymous brand later on, Verdura. And you see in these glass cases on columns, these mannequins. These are called wax mannequins. And this was really already controversial. At that point in time, jewelry was already accustomed to being displayed on black velvet. So she went back into history, back to and found 19th century wax mannequins, which were really realistic looking. And she chose that as the perfect way to display it. And you see some of the amazing jewelry. Chanel was at the top of her game. London Diamond Corporation knew that. This was in her apartment in Faubourg Saint-Honoré in the former Hotel de Rouen-Montbazon. And I want to just jump into some of my favorite pieces from that collection because they're so extraordinary. At the time, it was a phenomenal publicity success. Artists of the day, Christian Berard, did a sketch commemorating the event. Here you see the wax mannequin again and the stylist Chanel. It appeared in many publications. You see here Le Bijou Chanel. This was in L'Officiel in December 1932. And here is one of the stars of the show. I love this piece. It is her comet necklace. She went back to kind of fundamental patterns in design, this star, feather. And that was really because she also came back to the source for diamonds. So Chanel was famous for costume jewelry that she'd been doing for more than a decade at that point. And costume jewelry and the accessories of costume jewelry were purchasable by the woman themselves, but they were also the perfect accessory for the little black dresses and the canvas style attire that Chanel was promoting for the modern woman. Accessories were really what gave it life. In this book, Patrick Mauriés also includes a manifesto. So this was such a big deal for Chanel that she created a manifesto about the collection. And in that manifesto, she says, I chose the diamond because its density represents the greatest value for the smallest size. And I use my penchant for all that shines to try and reconcile elegance and fashion in a set of jewelry. And this was right after the Great Depression. This was in the Great Depression, right after the stock market crash. And she really needed to give reasons for this diamond jewelry. And this diamond jewelry, one of the reasons why it's so important that we have this historical record is because even though it was sponsored by the London Diamond Corporation, this collection actually never made it to England. And it was because of the duties of British customs that were just onerous. So it would never actually traveled. And then the Vendôme jewelers, the traditional fine jewelry jewelers, kind of put up a revolt and made sure that all of this jewelry, the majority of this jewelry, was broken up. So these photos are one of the only artifacts that we have, these photos by Robert Bresson, who commemorated the exhibit. Here you see another drawing. This is from Women's Wear Daily, and you see here the comet necklace, and one of my favorites, the fringe and the bow tie. Here's a photo by Robert Bresson of that fringe necklace. I love the implicit movement. This was mind-blowing at the time. So Chanel chose to use as little metal as possible to hold the diamonds and really make the diamonds a star of the show. She also chose not to use small diamonds. So all of our pieces have diamonds that are valuable. And I think that this probably set the prototype for diamond jewelry today, where the diamond is king. You also have that same one, the fringe bracelet. This is probably my favorite piece in the entire show. I just love the idea of how these little fringes hang and the implied movement and maybe dancing that a woman would feel inspired to do while wearing this. The last one that I want to share with you, you can see on this very chic wax mannequin, leopard coat, leopard hat. You see this amazing piece? And here in a photo by Robert Bresson commemorating it. So chic, so elegant, diamonds as king. I really want to thank Patrick Mauriés for doing such amazing detailed research for this really world-changing 1932 collection of Chanel. But the book actually shows the entire history, even through the modern day, of Chanel's fine jewelry. And as such, it's great for any lover of Chanel, anyone that loves designer jewelry, and particularly for lovers of jewelry history. My name is Sergio Andres with Elegance Found. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.